A moment ago, we were remarking that every Java file needs to have the same name as the class defined within it. Here, for instance, we have the main.java file inside which we defined a class main. Let's see what happens if we try to modify the name. Let's just type out the word new at the end of our class so that its name changes from main to main new. We can see right away that there is a problem. This class name has now been underlined in red. Let's click on the little red icon to get a sense of the error message. And we can see that IntelliJ is telling us that class main new is public and so should be declared in a file called mainnew.java. It also gives us some different options that we could go with. The first of these, the default option, is to make main new non-public. So clearly this requirement that every class be in a file of the same name only applies to public classes. IntelliJ also gives us the other option. There is a list of more actions, but for now, let's just ignore this error and see what happens if we try to hit the run button over on the top right. And well, that just is not going to fly. When we click on the run main button, we now get a build error. The details of this error can be seen in the build dialog at the bottom of the screen. Java is telling us that class mainNew is public and should be declared in a file named mainNew.java. So let's go back to the red icon and let's choose one of the options there. You can see that there are three options made available to us. The first of these is make mainNew not public. The second is to rename the file. And the third is to rename the class mainNew back to main. Let's go with the second option of renaming the file. So we click over on the project view in the top left. We right click on the main.java file name. Note, by the way, that main.java is also underlined in red, telling us that there's an error in that file. Right clicking on that source file opens up a whole set of options. For now, the one we are interested in is the refactor option. Notice that the refactor option itself has various sub options. Let's go with the first, which is rename files. Before we do so, let's just take a second to look at some of the other options available in this dialog. The first option in the left click menu was the new option. Below that come cut, copy, copy path, and paste. Then we have options which allow us to find usages and analyze. Down towards the bottom, we can find ways to build this particular module, recompile main.java, run mainnew.main, debug mainnew.main, run mainnew.main with coverage, and so on. Down below, we can also find this file, that is, reveal it in Finder, open this file from a terminal window, as well as to reload it from disk and view local history. All of these are potentially useful operations, and you should be aware that you can access this menu by right-clicking on a file name. In any case, let's get back to the task at hand, which was to rename this particular file. Because the whole cause of the problem was the mismatch between the file name and the class name, we just renamed this file to mainnew.java. Note how there are a couple of checkboxes which will search for references and search in comments and strings. In any case, click on refactor and that does the trick. Our source file is now called mainnew and we can see the updated name in the project view over on the top left. Now, if we would like to run this file, we can do so. Let's click on the run button in the top right. Notice, however, that there is a small red mark there. So we've got to edit configurations. When we choose the edit configurations option, we find that the main class name is still set to main. So let's edit that to make it main new. And once we do that and hit apply, then we really are ready to go. This is an additional important step required once we rename the file containing the main entry point function. Now we really are ready to run and we can hit run and we see down below in the console window that there is the message which we printed using system.out.println, my first Java program. Let's also quickly take a look at main new.class. Notice how the name of the class file has also been updated and it stays in sync with the source file. This code looks exactly like the code of our main new.java, no change. Let's right click and choose the delete option. So we are now once again deleting the bytecode file. We choose save delete and delete in comments and strings. Those are the default options. And this gets rid of the bytecode file which was generated by running the main file. Now let's head back to the main new.java file and modify it to add in a second print statement. So we had one in there saying my first Java program. Let's add a second one which prints out hello world. Let's confirm in the project view that we do not have a class file for main new.java in there, and that will change when we click the run main option from the top right. So when we run main, we now see main new.class reappears in the project view. And if we click on that class file, we can see that that deconstructed bytecode also now has a second comment in there. So we can see clearly from this the process of compilation. When we make a change to a source file, the next time we build the project, the corresponding bytecode files, that's the class files, are going to be updated, and we can view those changes in the bytecode files using the decompiler and the directory structure in the project viewer.